Resources may be scarce, but remember that observing is also part of training. This is Sidetracked.
Sidetrack, we're getting sidetracked. Yes, we're getting sidetracked.
What were we talking about?
Yung podcast.
Wait, are we recording already?
Yeah, we were just about to start.
Should we start that again?
Again?
Nah, it's fine. Side?
Tracked?
Where? Hi, I'm Bree.
I'm Lila.
I'm gay.
And we are sidetracked.
Ang daming
Thanks for
hesitation na.
watching.
um, so, we are almost at the end of the year, guys. Oh my god. Isn't
Holy
it?
shit.
Yeah.
Your
Medyo
year.
nagulantang ako. Kasi we're recording this in the middle of the year.
No, no, no. It's the end of the
No,
year.
it's the
How
end
was
of the year.
your year?
We're almost going to 2024, guys. Congratulations.
Yay!
Yay.
May
Can you
New Year's
believe?
resolution na ba kayo? Ready na ba? Yung mga
Tata-
pangako niyo sa sarili niyo
Pwede
na
na,
hindi niyo tutuparin?
kaya nyo na ba tumalon? Ready na ba? So, to celebrate the almost end of the year, we will be talking about Haikyu, but specifically to the top. So this is season
Yes.
4 for everybody's knowledge. We won't be talking about the first 3 seasons anymore because we didn't really technically watch it together.
Hmm.
But just know that we love.
Yes,
We did
That's it.
watch it.
We did
we
watch
did
it,
watch it.
obviously.
But this was way before the idea of sidetracked was even
Yeah.
in our minds.
Mm.
So,
So we're not
long time
going to
ago.
be talking about the first 3 seasons anymore. But for everybody's knowledge, so Haikyu is a volleyball anime. Well, technically it's a manga turned into an anime, and it's volleyball centric. So it's a sports anime, and it's about this guy, boy, child. I don't know, man. Hinata. So basically, Hinata he sees this guy in television, the little giant,
Yes.
and he's very short for someone to be playing volleyball, but he jumps really high. So that's why they call him the little giant. And this kind of ito yung nag push kay Hinata na, oh my god, I want to try that out as well. So he's been doing volleyball. He's been practicing volleyball since middle school. That's the premise of it. So for to the top, it's part 1. So we will be talking about part 1 specifically in this episode because to the top was divided into two. So part one focuses on the training camp.
Yeah.
So they just won against Shiratorizawa from season 3, and they are off to nationals, but before that they have to train together and to enhance their skills. So they all went to separate training camps, and that's where the story goes. And
That's where it
now,
starts.
yeah, and that
Japan?
Japan. um, so speaking of Japan, we have the All Japan Youth Training Camp. So this is with Kageyama. Kageyama was invited to the training camp
To
with all
Tokyo,
of.
right?
Mhm. So this is all across Japan. Everyone under 18, if you're good enough, you'll be invited. And Kageyama was obviously good enough, and he was invited. And we met the core characters Atsumu, Sakusa, and Hoshiyumi. So, what do we guys think of these new characters?
I remember because I also watch Seiyu live events, and nung in-announce na si Mamu,
Mamu?
Mamu, si Mamu, and si
Hana.
Hanae, everybody screamed.
No,
Everybody and their mothers, including me.
ano yun eh. I also remember that because I was, yung, during that time that it was happening, I was also like waiting for updates and stuff. first na in-announce si Hanae, everybody's screaming. It was like, oh my god, Hanae, Hoshiyumi, ganyan, ganyan. And then, in-announce si Atsumu. And everybody, as in so, malakas na yung cheers kay Hanae. Tapos, lumakas lalo with Mamo.
Mm.
Because everybody who has read the manga and knows Atsumu, we're all parang expecting Mamo
Mhm.
to be in Haikyu.
It's a
Pero
very mamo character.
yeah, it's a very Mamo character. So when he was announced as Atsumu, everybody was like, yes, exactly. Yes.
I screamed so much. And I'm not even that deep into the Seiyu world. I'm just like, oh my god! I know these people!
It's mostly that. So for Brie, it's excitement. Like, oh my god, these are the sayers I want. With Kay, it's just I know them.
They're my starter Seiyus. Hana and Mamo. So I'm like, whoa!
Very honestly, like the excitement of that, like it's out of this world. I feel like I want to go
Mhm.
back to that genuine excitement of just having them announce those things like, oh fuck, yes. Pero sayus aside, what do we think of the characters itself?
I'll be honest, I didn't like Hoshiyumi at first.
Yeah.
I was
Sorry,
like,
who's
why is
Hoshiyumi
this?
again?
Uh,
Eyeliner guy.
yeah,
Right. Oh my gosh.
eyeliner
Oh
guy.
yeah. Eyeliner
Because I know that
guy.
she's gonna remember eyeliner guy.
Yes. Kasi if you say the other little giant, I'm like, there's like multiple of them. So which one?
I didn't like him at first because he was just very annoying. He's like picking fights with everybody. Can you shut up?
Yeah. He's like
You Dr.
he's like
Stone looking bitch. He
He
looks
does.
like he looks like the lead for Dr.
He
Stone.
does. He does.
Bree's dying. Bree's dying. Call 911.
So yeah, he was just picking fights with everybody. So I found him annoying at first, but Haikyu fashion, you love everybody. So I did learn to like him eventually.
Yeah.
With Atsumu, I had a little bit of annoyance. Kasi, kasi he was planting all these like really, not really bad, but like it fucks with Kageyama's mind.
But it did make him grow.
Yeah, it did make him a better setter. But we did get like a few episodes of Kageyama struggling.
don't don't hurt the blueberry.
Don't hurt him. He's
That
already having emotional constipation.
our tiny blueberry. How about Lila?
Can barely remember much about the characters, but I do remember thinking the first time I saw Atsumu was he's kind of fruity. I don't know why.
Like with all Mama's characters.
I mean, in Mamo fashion, right?
Yeah, as in legit, I don't know why, but that's like the very thing that I distinctly remember. This character's fruity. This character's
You
fruity.
know
That's
what?
all I can think of.
Because diba in the manga, obviously they're black and white, so you don't really
Hmm.
see the colors. You only see them if there's like extras or covers and
Yeah.
stuff that they show. And it's really funny because everybody, when the anime dropped, like the first image of Atsume, everybody was like, why does his hair look like pee? Like,
This is just a roast of all new characters.
and you know what? It does look.
Someone needs to drink water.
And you know what's funny? Kasi they dyed their hair. Because their hair was brown.
It's intentional.
So Atsumu like legitimately colored his hair that way. Like what?
Breathe. Please breathe. Please breathe.
avoiding, like very trying my best to actually like talk about Haikyuu, because like Haikyuu is my favorite manga of all time. But like now I'm
Same.
just laughing.
It is for me as well.
um, for me, I genuinely don't remember my first impressions of them because it was years. Because I read this weekly while it was coming out, so that was like years ago.
Yeah.
And because Haikyuu ended in 2020, so I'm guessing this arc was around maybe 2018, 2019.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
probably.
So I generally don't remember my first impressions of them, but I do see where the annoyance can lie.
Mm.
I mean, typically we feel annoyance towards any character that goes against Karasu. I feel like
Mm-mm.
that's always gonna be the
There
first
are baby.
reaction. Yeah.
I mean,
Like
that's true.
we love all the characters now, right?
Mm,
Especially after learning like something like their backstory or something.
yeah.
Pero in the beginning, we will always find them annoying in the beginning. Because Karasu
Yeah,
and Noe are the ultimate babies.
we even found Suki annoying at some point.
Exactly.
Does everybody
Yeah.
remember that?
Now I absolutely love him.
But yeah, I think the first thing that came to my mind was Sakusa. Sakusa, I was very interested with Sakusa because we had that kind of like a small introduction of him, like a
Hmm.
sprinkle before, because they were talking about like the top three spikers, right?
Yeah,
And Sakusa was one of them, but we didn't really have any information with this guy. And then we get into the training camp, and then we kind of we meet him, and then you think that we will get like some sort of information,
we didn't get
but we
much.
didn't. We didn't in this arc. We actually, this is gonna be a spoiler, pero last arc pa siya, like
Mm,
fully magpapakita ng
yeah,
Oh.
I was
stuff niya.
So
waiting
like
for him
they're
as
really
well while I
building
was
up this
reading.
character.
Yeah, so he's a very mysterious character, exactly. So, ko alam kung bakit, pero naging favorite character ko siya actually.
Yeah,
kahit na hindi, kahit na we don't really get
Hindi pa
much
ako
about him.
I
makarelate
can
kasi
see
I
why.
haven't read.
I can see why, even just from the looks.
You know my type of favorite character.
Mm-hmm.
So, not just
Of
the
course.
looks, even the personality.
Yeah.
Sakusa is my exact exact type of favorite character. So, but like we did get kind of like I was more interested with their skills because they were being portrayed as like these monsters, like these amazing
Yeah.
people.
Untouchable.
Yeah. And then, kasi we've only gotten Kageyama rival with Oikawa, right?
Mm-mm.
As a
Yes.
setter. But then everybody's like the setters are not in their league and stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
compared to Oikawa and ano. And then we get Atsumu, and he's like a very totally different character. And then he kept pushing Kageyama. Like, why are you ano yung sinabi niya
Why
na
are you such a goody two
yun,
shoes?
goody two shoes. That
Yeah.
was the ano. And then I was like, why would you call him that? Parang why? What is it with Kageyama that you think he's a goody two shoes? Especially since we do know Kageyama's personality,
Yeah.
so we're a bit confused. Like, why are you calling this guy specifically a goody two shoes? Like
Of
out of
all people.
everybody, yeah, out of all.
Doon nang galing yung annoyance ko. What do you mean?
Pero and then we kind of like delve into the goody two shoes thing more, and then it makes sense, and then
Yeah.
you realize that Asumi is like really good in reading people. And then with Hoshiyumi, he also kind of became the parent factor for Kageyama to help Hinata push him more into his potential, kasi
Because
he saw.
Hoshiyumi is more of a Hinata rival, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. And he's like, he's good with jumping, right? And
Yes.
yun yung parang forte ni Hinata. Like, he's only seen that type of jump with Hinata. So now he has this other guy that he could learn a lot. So he can, help
Help
Hinata.
Hinata.
So yun yung parang, I remember those thoughts. Yung first thoughts ko, like interest. I'm not gonna be surprised if I did get annoyed before. I get easily annoyed din naman. So it would make sense. And ang
Mm.
funny nun
Wow.
kasi in the anime, they didn't really know how he looks. And
Oh.
they don't know his uniform, like they don't really know anything about him. So in the anime in season 2, when they introduced, wow, I actually remember what season it was. When they introduced the spikers, the top 3 spikers, he was wearing purple. His uniform was
Mm.
purple. And I was really sad because that type of purple was really nice.
And it's not their uniform color.
Yeah, and it became a banana color. Like,
He looks good in yellow though.
but like, come on, yellow and green specifically, like,
Yeah, that combination is very tropical.
and he has black hair, so it looks like the banana has like the stump at the end.
See, this is just a roast of new characters.
I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
oh my
But what do
gosh.
you think of the camp itself?
I think the camp was a really good idea. Kasi we're like boxed into just the Miyagi prefecture and like some of the Tokyo team.
Hmm.
So it's good to like see more teams and showcase na may mas magaling pa or
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
mas may hurdle pa.
trying different
And like,
abilities and stuff.
Uh-uh.
cause like with how much focus we get with Karasuno, which is Karasuno, we keep thinking na, oh, they're getting better, or oh, they're one of the best now. And then you see all of these untouchables. And then you
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
realize na, oh, there's more to it. The world is bigger than they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting then kasi obviously all these people that they chose for the All Japan team, All Japan Youth Training Camp would then end up being a pro and be in the All Japan team. And Osamu kind of pointed that out na maybe the reason why they chose you and they didn't choose me was because they see your drive, your love for volleyball. Doesn't mean that I don't love volleyball. It just means that your love for it is bigger and you have a bigger potential of like going more with
Mm.
volleyball. And never mind. Um
Spoiler.
I mean, I've kind of, I'm just gonna say this now. I've kind of been spoiled a little bit with like future
you haven't
stuff.
you haven't been slightly spoiled. I literally told you the entire story.
All right, you did.
Yeah, I
All
did
right, yeah, yeah, yeah,
while
yeah.
I was reading.
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, sure, just tell me because I'm gonna forget. And I
And
feel
then I
like you did.
remember.
No, I
I
feel like you did
remember.
forget some of it though.
Yeah, some of it, yeah. I do remember certain things.
Anyways, moving on with the twins. So like I see the potential of it and it's really interesting cuz I'm not really sure cuz I haven't really researched about it, but I'm pretty sure that they do it as well in real life, like the training camp. Pretty
Yeah.
sure they do that cuz
I wouldn't be surprised if they do.
yeah, kasi they have to like find potential pros like in the
Hmm.
future, right? For
Yeah.
their
Mm.
team. And then compare it to the first year only prefecture. Like these untouchables, as Dita mentioned, like these monsters, they're like the best of the best of the bunch. And then we get to Miyagi, like the first year Miyagi only training camp, and they're
Mhm.
also really good. Maybe not the best, but they're also really good. And you kind of see like the differences of the parang expertise
Levels.
level, yeah.
Hmm.
Pero it's interesting to see na even in this type of training camp, you still have a lot of things to learn.
Mhm.
That's true.
Landmarks. Woo! Okay, so speaking of Haikyu, here is another landmarks with Bree, and we're going to be talking a lot about Haikyu because this is my manga phase. Woo!
Woo!
And the start of my manga phase was actually Haikyuu. Woo! So, basically, ito yung timeline. Was it college or high school? Oh, no, no, it was high school. So, back in high school, I already wanted to buy Orange. So, Orange is another manga, also an anime. And it was always on my list. Pero the thing is, the Orange manga in the Philippines was, yun yung naka-compilation na. So, the first three mangas are in one volume. And then the last three volumes of the manga is in another manga. So, dalawa lang yung manga dito sa Pilipinas. So, compilation na siya. And since compilation na yung manga, it's expensive. At the time, it was 700 pesos. And usually, ang paper bound was like 300 something. So, my brain was, I can buy two books in this price.
That's true.
Pero ngayon kasi 700 is just like one book. So,
Wait.
anyways. So, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
nagmahal na siya
Oh my
sobra.
gosh.
Anyways, so I kept putting it off. So I kept putting buying orange. I wasn't able to buy orange during high school. Come college, I discovered Haikyu. And then I got so into Haikyu, and it was like pissing me off that there wasn't anything about Haikyu, like the next season for Haikyu, and I was like desperate for it. And it came to the point that I wanted to know more about it, and so I started reading the manga, and that was the start of my manga phase. And I remember I even bought the manga for for Haikyu. I was like thinking about it too much, like should I buy it, should I buy it, and then I bought it. For everybody's information, I also bought Orange.
I
And that started my
remember
manga journey.
I remember all the times that I was with Brie every time she's browsing fully booked for all the mangas.
You know what? That's another story for
Oh
my
wow.
manga phase. I didn't know that Fully Book was selling mangas,
Oh.
which was stupid of me because I Orange was in my list and Orange is in Fully Book. So and Orange is a manga. But like in my brain, it's like, oh, they don't sell Haikyuu here. So you know what I did? I bought from Book Depository. Book Depository, which is sadly closed now.
Oh, that's
By
so
the way,
sad.
it's really sad. Yeah. Book Depository is a UK based bookstore and it's virtual and they ship worldwide and it's free delivery. So that's why I started buying from Book Depository. The only thing is it takes them so long. So I took the risk. I bought Haikyuu from Book Depository and then I fucking found out that Fully Book sells them. So I bought volume 1 and 2 from Book Depository and then I found out that Fully Book was selling them. So I bought volume 3 and Fully Book and that was my first ever manga. Haikyuu volume 3.
Not even volume one, volume three.
Because it took so long to get
Yeah.
the first two volumes since Book Depository shipping takes long. And then that's it. Now I have a shit ton of mangas.
Oh
And
yeah,
I've read
you
so
have like a
many.
full collection
It's
now.
a full wall.
Oh yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
full wall of
It's
mangas.
right
Yeah.
behind Brie right now. You don't see it, but I can see it. It's right there.
Yeah, it's a lot. It makes sense because I collect a lot of books. It's
Yeah.
just that it's another type of book now, and I've read so many that it came to the point that I'm reading the manga first before
Yeah.
even watching the anime. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise. So that was my manga phase, my manga journey, and it all started with Haikyuu. So thank you, Haikyuu. Or maybe not thank you. I don't know. Is it a bad thing? Is it a good thing? Who
Is it a
knows?
blessing or is it a curse?
So, going back to Haikyuu now. Yay! Landmarks. Woo! I really don't want to talk about it, but like the way Hinata.
We all erase it from our minds and then we
Yeah.
remember it. So we cringe and then after a while we forget about it again.
I'm like,
I
I feel like if I'm gonna rewatch Haikyuu, I'm probably gonna avoid this one.
You're gonna
bro,
close your eyes.
Yeah.
I genuinely when the anime kasi ang tagal din before they announced to the top actually. Was it 1 or 2 years or three
Yeah,
years?
ang tagal
Uh,
niya kasi nakailang
um
rewatch din ako eh.
Parang nag-end siya sa Shira Torizawa, the season 3, and then sobrang tagal before they released to the top. And then when they announced it, I was like very excited about it, but I was like, shit, they're animating this scene. I can't go through that. Because, like, if you read it in the manga, it's very easy to, like, just skim through the panels, just read
Mm-mm.
Just read the
the
text. Don't look at the
conversation.
drawings. Don't look at
Yeah,
the characters.
like, just imagine what's happening, just like move on. It's easy to, like, move on, but like
Yeah.
in video form, in like an anime form, we have to
You
like
hear
go
it.
through it. Yeah, and you hear it as well, which makes it worse. And like you rage Nitsuki in that scene. Honestly,
You feel it
Uchi,
through the
yeah,
screen.
Uchi did a really good job with that scene on, because I felt it. Yung feeling si Tsuki during that time, I was like, oh my god, same mood. Yes. I I will react the same way, to be honest, if that
I would
happened.
quit. Let him take my place. I don't need to be here.
I mean, it did help Hinata a lot, but like, do we really have to make him sneak into the fucking camp?
Here's the thing. Hinata is shameless. Like he doesn't care.
Honestly, if I was parent, diba, I sneak in and stuff, and then I was scolded by like a lot of people, and then the coach tells me na, well, we do need a ball boy if you want to, para if you're going to be here, just work, parang ganon. And like,
Yeah.
I get it. Coach Ukay did say na don't underestimate being a ball boy and everything. Like,
Mm-mm.
I get it, okay. But like, if I was in Hinata's position, I would definitely not do it. Like,
I'm
just the
gonna
embarrassment.
feel humiliated.
Yeah, like the
Nah.
embarrassment of being scolded
Yeah.
for sneaking in, that's one. And then two, I became a ball boy. Like after, especially since everybody in the first year camp knows Hinata, and these are the
Mm-mm.
people that he's actually fought against.
And he
And
won.
he won, and everybody was, he was one of the people in their team na everybody was watching for.
And then all of a sudden, he's not part of like the good bunch.
Yeah, he's just there to pick up balls and like do
Yeah.
chores and
But like
stuff.
he beat all of them.
But
We do have to admire Hinata's dedication to the craft.
Yeah.
I'll
But
give
like
him that. But
but like
don't do anything illegal, my dude.
but like he's so dedicated to the point of being shameless.
Yeah.
Like he's not even the least bit
the thing is
embarrassed.
though, Hinata is very, he hyper focuses on
Yeah, he
volleyball.
does.
So it doesn't matter how he does it, it doesn't matter what he does, as long as it will help him
Mm-mm.
uh
Yeah.
get better at it, which is, I guess, in a way, I really admire him for it, like that passion, because like we all have something that we're passionate about, but I feel like it's
Yeah.
not to the extent that Hinata has for volleyball.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Or like even if it's at the same level as Hinata, we're self-aware. We're
Yeah.
aware of people's perceptions. We have shame,
Mm-hmm.
so
Like,
we're not gonna do it.
I mean, we're not going to do everything
Mm-hmm.
for
Mm-hmm.
it. Like, I mean, everything for
That's
it.
It's
true.
not to that extent.
Yeah, so I don't
Yeah.
think any of us are in that level of Hinata.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Ramdam kong gusto nang magpa-swallow ni Tsuki sa floor.
Parang,
Ka-team ko 'to. Parehas kaming position.
and ang funny pa nun, kasi Tsukishima in the first place didn't even wanna go.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was forced by his team to go. They were like, you will learn a lot, so go. It's for our team. And he can't really say no anymore because like everybody was like forcing him to do it, and everybody was like, oh, we're gonna tell the host or like the organizer that you're joining. So he can't really say no anymore. And then ito yung madadatnan niya. So like if I was him, I'd be like, I was forced to be here, and now you're gonna embarrass me like this? Like,
That's why I'm going to quit if I was Tsuki.
I'm
Just
just
take
gonna
my
leave. You
seat.
can't stop me. Magko-commute ako if I have to.
He even bought toothbrush.
oh yes, like, oh, he wasn't even invited, and he was.
He was prepared.
And ang ano pa nun is he commutes.
Yeah.
every day. Like,
Yeah.
the dedication.
You're right, kasi di ba hindi siya pinayagan na magstay?
Yeah, because he's not
Mm-mm.
invited.
Yeah, so he can.
Walang
Oh
room
my
for him.
gosh.
No, actually, there is room. The coach,
Inoferan.
no,
Inoferan siya, di ba?
no. The coach was, di ba may assistant coach? And,
Oo.
I forgot the name kasi ng Shira Torizawa coach. Pero he was like, there's no room for you here because you weren't invited and stuff. And then Hinata was like, it's okay, I'm just gonna commute na lang, ganyan, ganyan. And then nung wala na si Hinata, the assistant coach was like, well, we do have a lot of beds here. We have a lot of
It's a
Oh
extra.
yeah,
fucking dorm.
even 'di ba even Tendo was
Mm.
like, should I just let him sleep in my room?
Cause like, pero the coach wanted him to learn na just because you're here, we're just gonna give you everything. Parang ganon. You have to work hard
Mm.
for it. Cause you're not invited in the first place. But like, at least give him a room. he's not even gonna, he's not even gonna play anymore. He's not even training.
He's just a ball boy.
Kasi ang hirap no, he's like biking every single fucking day.
Yeah, yeah,
Biking! Kasi he's in the mountains. Like, even in Karasuno, he's biking every day to Karasuno.
Mm.
And like, Karasuno is very far from Shirato Rizawa.
Yeah,
So, padagdag na padagdag yung distance.
yung
yeah,
pagod niya.
Oo. Pero it did help with the stamina. He's like a
Mm.
stamina monster because of the biking. So I guess it
yeah,
helped.
yeah.
In
That's
a
And we
true.
way.
do have to thank the ball boy arc for Hinata's growth in receiving.
And he started to learn how to observe other people. So he kind
Yeah,
of he learned how to Kirby style
Kirby
their
style.
abilities. So consume ano bang word doon? Na consume niya yung mga abilities ng iba.
Na-absorb.
Na-absorb
absorb.
ang
Yeah,
word. Yan. Na-absorb niya
yeah.
yung word.
Because
Na-absorb
usually
niya
when
yung word.
he's
Na-absorb niya
playing,
yung ability.
because usually when he's playing, he only sees like what's in the court, what's like
Mm-mm.
directly in front of him. But like when he was on the sidelines, he's seeing everything and everyone, how they
Mm.
move, their techniques.
Yeah, it did really help him a lot.
Yeah,
Kasi before he's very what he's not one dimensional, pero like his thinking was one dimensional.
Mm-mm.
yeah.
Na he
He's a
has to do
simpleton.
yeah, he has to like work hard on his spikes. That's it. He has to work on
Yeah,
his jumps. That's it. And then people were like, do
there's
it
more to
like
it.
this. Yeah, do it like this. And then he's like, oh, I can do this. So he absorbs that. And then, oh, you do this. Okay, I'll do that. Ganon. Pero he
Mm-mm.
hasn't like really seen the bigger picture. It's more
Yeah,
of like what people tell him na, oh, you can do this actually. It's like,
yeah.
oh, I want to
And
learn
then,
that.
diba, correct me if I'm wrong, but like he also has trouble kind of connecting things he's learned separately.
Mm-mm.
That's like one of the things he tried to work on just throughout the story,
Mm-mm.
not
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
specifically on this one.
Mm.
Yeah.
It did help him a lot. And I'm actually really glad na even after the coach scolded him, si Ukay, even if he did scold him, he still pushed him to decide na if you want to stay there, there's still more things to learn. Like don't
Mm-mm.
underestimate being a ball boy. You can
Okay.
do a
Such a
lot.
Wasn't
great
he the
coach.
ball boy before when he was young? Or like he
Uh
was like on the sidelines, not
yeah,
really a
he's
ball boy,
always
but
in the
like
sidelines.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
he's
He's
always
always
on
on the
the side.
bench rather.
That's how he learned how to be a good coach because he was able to like observe a different place and
Yeah.
stuff. As Kay mentioned, he is a really good coach, and I'm very glad that Takeda Sensei did not give up on trying to get him
Mm.
to coach for the team. And speaking of Takeda Sensei, that scene where they were talking on the phone and then
Mm-hmm.
Hinata just bowed like kumain. And then the assistant coach in the background was like, how scary is he? How scary is Takeda Sensei? Because like you wouldn't really realize that Takeda Sensei is like scary.
Mm-hmm. Because he's so squishy.
Yeah, and he's like he's just a precious teacher trying his best
Yeah.
for his students. He doesn't even know how to play volleyball. He was
Yeah.
like he was just assigned to be their
Yeah.
advisor.
Yeah.
And
And
he
then
tried his best.
yeah, he tried his best to like learn every single rule to make sure that the team gets the best coach, that the team gets like practice matches and stuff. And he even said that he's like really good at bowing, right? So he's not even passionate about volleyball. He's like he doesn't even parang before that he doesn't even care much about volleyball, but he made sure
It's
to
just another
give his
paycheck.
student. Pero he made sure that his students get the best
He cares a lot
accommodations.
about his students.
That being said, while the three first years were all, doing their training, Karasuno's also doing their training
Mm-hmm.
separately and collectively. Kinoshita. We will talk about Kinoshita later. Later. Not later. Next week. We will be talking
Yeah.
about Kinoshita next week. But I kind of want to touch up on him a bit here because he was trying his best to do the floater as well. What I like about it is that Yamaguchi wasn't feeling any resentment na parang, oh, he's taking my spot. What it did was it motivated him to do even better. He was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, Kinoshita, my senpai is doing all this work to train himself for the floater. I have to do better.
That's like
Mm-hmm.
one of the first things that you told me when you recommended Haikyu. It's
Really?
that, yeah, like the rivalry is very healthy. They don't have
Oh.
any like toxic jealousy. They see someone being good in there, and instead of thinking, I hate that this person is good, they end up thinking, I want to be as good as them and maybe even surpass them. You told me that when you recommended Haikyu years ago.
Oh. Oh,
Of course you
my past self is very good with recommending.
Of course you don't remember. What did I expect?
Oh, so I am eloquent in recommending.
I still remember your Karasuno jackets.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
we bought
Yeah.
matching Karasuno jacket. um Yun nga, parang what I really like about it as well is that with Kanoshta's case, kasi we all know that the second years don't have any spotlight. We only know
Mm-mm.
Noya and Tanaka.
Mm-mm.
And maybe Enoshta. May arc si Enoshta sa second season. Kasi he's the future captain.
Yeah.
And yung the Daichi Enoshta scene thing. Nung namatay
Yeah.
si Daichi.
Grabe naman yung namatay.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Daichi. So, nagkaroon ng parang focus sa Inoshta. But like, we don't really see much about Narita and Kinoshta. Narita, sadly enough, ang pinaka-scene niya lang was when he stepped up when Tsukishima was injured during the Shiratorizawa match.
Mm-mm.
Hanggang dun lang si
Yeah.
Narita.
Yeah, he didn't get much focus.
It's okay, Narita.
Siya yung ano talaga. Siya talaga
We
yung ano, short end
appreciate you.
we
of the
appreciate,
stick.
yeah. So yun na nga, parang I feel a bit sad sometimes kasi they're always being left out. Even in the stage play, Engeki Haikyu, they don't even have a Narita in Kinoshita.
Mm.
And
Di ba it
then,
Mm.
took a few
and then,
stages pa bago nagkaroon nung ano? Hindi ba?
nung arc na ni Kinoshita, doon
Mm.
nagkaroon ng Kinoshita, pero wala pa ring Narita.
Ah,
Bigla na lang sumulpot si Kinoshita. Ang funny talaga nun kasi parang in past stages wala namang Kinoshita. All of a sudden, oh, there I am. I'm here. So I'm actually really happy that we got a lot of Kinoshita focus in this season. And what I like about it is that nagpartner si Noya and si Kinoshita. I
mm,
really like that dynamic kasi Noya's having a hard time with receiving floaters and Kinoshita's having a hard time perfecting his floaters. So it's a really good combination what they're doing. And I like the dynamics thing kasi they're the same year. And technically all five of them they do hang out when they study and stuff. Pero we don't really see much interaction kasi we mostly get interaction between Noya and Tanaka and between the three Enoshita, Kinoshita, and Narita. We also sometimes get Enoshita, Noya, Tanaka interactions, but not really much with
Narita and
Narita
Kinoshita.
and Kinoshita. Yeah. And I really like na they partnered up Noya and Kinoshita. Kasi we finally get another interaction, like a different type of interaction between the second years. Kasi technically speaking, the second years are the biggest group. Kasi
Mm-mm.
the third years are only four with Kyoko. If it's just the guys, it's just three of them. And then the first years are four. Well, if we include Yachi, it's gonna be five. Pero the guys are just four. Parang the second years are the only ones like the big enough group.
Mm-mm.
So it's nice to see another different type of interaction. Carpool Tales. So, it's Brie again. But it's a carpool tale this time. And this is actually with my high school friends. So, in we were at the mall, and basically medyo madami kami ngayon kasi yung usual na high school friends na nakakasama ko, usually apat lang kami. Pero nayaya namin yung iba. Well, sila yung nagyaya sa amin. Tapos yun, nagkita-kita kami. Yan. So, ang daming kwento, ganyan-ganyan. We were at this cafe and we were just talking to each other and stuff. And I was drinking a drink that I forgot what it was. Basta it's a drink with a straw. Tapos, the straw, obviously, di ba meron yung parang paper na ipupunit mo tas lalabas yung straw, ganyan.
Mm.
So, may paper. So, nilagay ko siya sa table. I'm very aware of like where I put my trash and stuff. Ngayon, nalaglag ko yung straw, yung trash, yung paper thing. Tapos, nagpanik ako. Ngayon, ang taas ng chairs, by the way. For some reason, it's that type of chair na hindi pumapanta yung feet mo sa floor.
Mm.
Parang
High
ganon.
chair.
Yeah, high chair. So, it was a high chair. Ngayon, tinatry ko yung best ko na abutin yung straw trash thing. Kaso nga lang kasi, nasa taas ako masyado. So, trinay kong bumba. Ngayon, katapat lang ng table namin yung waiter. So, yung waiter, lumapit na siya, syempre. Tapos, kinuha niya yung straw trash. Ngayon, nung nakuha na niya, sabi ko sa kanya, thank you po. Tapos, kinukuha ko. Tapos, hindi niya binibitawan. Tapos, medyo nagtag-o-war kami ng konti. Doon sa straw trash. Tapos, sinabi niya sa akin, gagamitin niyo pa po ba to? Tapos, sabi ko, hindi na po, pero kinukuha ko pa din siya. Tapos, sabi ni kuya, sige, tatapon ko na lang po, ma'am. Tapos sabi ko, okay po. Tapos, hindi ko alam kung bibitawan ko na kasi medyo na-awkward na ako. So, slowly ko siyang binitawan. Tapos sabi niya sa akin, sige po, ma'am, tatapon ko na po. Sabi ko, thank you po, kuya. Tapos nakatingin lang lahat ng high school friends ko sa akin habang nagtatago-war kami ng waiter. So, ayun. I usually have something happening to me with the waiter.
You have more stories.
I have
Please,
a lot.
pakilista. If you haven't already, I would love to include it in our segments.
I have a lot of those stories. So you know what's worse? After that, he stood again where he was standing the last time, which was katapat ng table namin. And nandun kasi ako sa gilid ng table. Doon pa ako nakaupo. So kitang-kita ko siya sa left ko. So tinatry ko yung best ko na tumalikod sa kanya at humarap sa mga kaibigan ko. Parang hindi ko siya makita. Parang, I don't see. I cannot see.
If I
I
don't
do
see
not
you,
see.
you don't exist.
Yeah. So, ayun lang naman. Kinukuha ko yung basura sa waiter.
Let the guy do his job, man. Ba't ka nakikipag-tug of war?
I don't know what happened. I don't know what came to me. Nakinukuha ko yung basura sa kanya. Pero, ayun. Sorry, kuya, kung nakikinig ka. Kung naalala mo yung babaeng kinukuha yung basura sa'yo.
That's me.
So that's it for my carpool tales. Hope you guys could listen to our other episodes for more carpool tales. Carpool tales. And then we also got like the team practicing their serves.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting how parang different yung strategies na iniisip ni Ukay. Like things to work on
Mm-mm.
in every different match that they have. Parang they do different types of training. Like for the Tokyo Camp arc, they did that synchro attack
Yeah.
thing.
They come
And
up with different plans.
mm-mm. And yun yung parang pinaka-strategy ng Haraso, no? Which they pointed it out. They'll point it out in the future.
Spoiler.
Spoiler! Pero like, it's not really much of a spoiler. Pero they mentioned na Karasuno, the strength of Karasuno is mixing. They basically try to get, whenever they see a new thing from a different group, they try to capture it.
You
Mm-mm.
And
also explained that when I first watched Haikyu. Parang you
oh,
said na their
Throwback
animal
ah.
mascot, their animal mascot kind of represents their personality as a team.
oh yeah, all of
Yeah.
the mascot, all of the animal parang personas
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
teams symbolizes how they do gameplays. And
Yes.
with crows, basically, 'di ba they scavenge a lot?
Mm-mm.
Yes.
So with Karasuno, they scavenge what they can get. So
Yeah.
if they see a certain thing, oh, I think I
That's
like this
cool.
type of ano, oo,
Yeah, let's
let's try
practice
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how they manage to like stay up stay on top of their game. And yun yung parang sinasabi ko, someone mentioned na, I'm not gonna say who, but someone mentioned na that's like Karasuno's strength is mixing different types of abilities, making they don't stick with just one thing. Kasi with Nekoma, for example, they very much have the like the receiving strategy thing, very
Mm-mm.
stable no receiving nila. And
Yeah.
then with Fukurodani, they have Bokto, right, as their
Mm-mm.
center. But if Bokto's like not in his game, the team still manages to do fine without him. But their
And
center is
then
Bokto.
Dateko is like the blocking, right?
Yeah, that because the blocking. And parang they have like
Specialties.
certain specialties na yun na talaga yun. Parang they're used to it. They're not changing anything. With Karasu, no, they don't have like one little specialty. They have multiple. And parang I alam ko they compared it with like painting with colors, right? If you mix different colors, you make
It
black.
turns black.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
which is their
Mm.
color.
All right. I
Mm.
forgot about that metaphor. That's a really cool
So
metaphor.
it's really nice to see their growth in that. And I like na for this specific thing, they focus on the serves. Kasi we all know that Karasuno serves are weak. And the only ones with like really good serves, ang pinaka ano lang talaga nila, yung pinaka stable na nakakatakot na serve is si Kageyama.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Si Asahi, he has the power.
Mm-mm.
Pero he's not, parang hanggang dun
Hindi
lang
siya
yun.
accurate.
Oo, power lang
And
meron siya.
ano siya, it's very based on his emotions.
Mm. Tapos si Tsuki, ano lang, very stable lang nung ano niya. As in, normal
Basta
serve lang.
pasok.
Oo, basta pasok. Basta in lang lagi. Yun yung
Am
ano niya, yun
I
lang yung,
correct? Except for Kageyama, Noya is the only one who's like known for something, which is being a
y-
libero.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
like
yeah.
very popular, right?
He's like a really good libero.
Yeah.
And since we have those trainings, so Kageyami with the All Japan, Hinata and Tsuki with the first year only camp, and then the rest of Karasuno with like their own trainings, we finally when those were finished, we finally got them all together back again, and they weren't able to like actually practice together because they were all separate from one another, so they still haven't
Mm-mm.
like matched up with each other with like the things that they've learned, but they managed to do that with Dateko. So with Dateko training camp practice match, with the Dateko practice match, they were able to like try
Use
to
all their
mm-mm,
newly learned
Parang
skills.
work out the kinks, kind of
yeah, and try
sew them
to
together.
match with each other as well.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
not really good to just have like one like you have an ability, and
Yeah.
pero if you're just doing it like individually and you're not matching with the group, it's not gonna work anyway.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's interesting na I really like the choice of Dateko for a practice match. Kasi
Yeah.
Dateko is very stable in their blocking, and they're very
Mm-hmm.
stable with their receiving as well. So they're the best match against Karasuno kasi their defenses are very high.
Mm.
And I feel like they're the only team na will help them with practicing all the abilities that they've acquired beforehand.
Yeah, because most of the skills that they learned is more offensive.
Mm. they really don't have that much defensive strategies. To
Mm.
be fair, they
Ang
don't.
pinaka-core ng defense nila is like three people.
Yeah, Tsuki, Noya, and Daichi.
Yes.
I mean, Kageyama's really good with blocking and receiving as well. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
but he has to lessen receiving because he's a setter.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he only blocks din naman kapag like
Mm-mm.
kailangan talaga. As much as possible, they just make him. Pero he's like a really good. He's the best volleyball player talaga out of all of them kasi he's a
Yeah.
really good all-rounder.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like from the start, kasi in the manga, they actually show you the skills of every character. Parang may ano, may
You show,
ratings,
May
yeah,
'di ba?
I
may
saw that in the
stats.
manga. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
may stats yun. Kageyama's stats in like the first chapter were already high. Like they're almost perfect. I feel
Tapos
alam
balance.
oo, alam ko parang all but one or two were perfect na.
Mm.
Tapos yung
Kaya mo yan.
I was thinking if I'm gonna it's not really a spoiler. Tapos yung ano na parang when we got an updated version of those stats. It's still high. Alam ko
Mm-hmm.
parang may isa lang ata na nag-upgrade or something. Pero like you could already see na his stats were already high even when he was still in first year of high school.
Mm-mm.
So kita mo talaga na he's a really good volleyball player. Like no one's going to lie about that. Napunta ako kay Kageyama. Like, going back to the dati ko match, it's really funny kasi, di ba they were like, have they gotten worse? They were like saying that.
Did we get better? Oh my god, we can beat them.
Maybe we should be the ones going to
Yeah.
nationals. and, and it's really funny kasi they're always doing this. They have the
Mm.
history of doing this, like doing practice matches. Like they don't care if they lose in those
Yeah.
practice matches because they really want to learn how to do those skills. Even in the Tokyo training camp, 'di ba? Ilang beses sila natalo kasi
Mm-mm.
experiment sila ng experiment. Pero what I want to point out in the dati ko practice match is yung scene where Kageyama finally breaks out of his shell. Yung
Mm.
nag-away sila ni Noya.
Ah.
Right?
What?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Kasi medyo medyo na hindi mapakali si Kageyama kasi every time he sets something to someone, hindi nagsuscore. Because everybody's experimenting, right?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Tanaka's experimenting his straights. Asahi is concentrating on like the timing of his spikes with the blocks.
Mm-mm.
Isa pa pala yun sa tinitrain ni Asahi. Besides the serving thing, he's also like training himself to like time yung pagsa-spike niya with yung
The
pababa na
blocks.
yung blocks. Pag pababa na yung blocks, dun niya isa-spike.
So
Tapos si
parang medyo nagsasalisi sila.
Mm-mm.
mm,
Tapos Kageyama started talking rudely to
ah,
Asahi. Tapos
no,
nainis si
Mm.
Noya.
No, no,
Di
no,
ba?
no. It was Noya. Ano siya, tawag dito, nasa-stress na si Kagayama kasi feeling niya
Ah.
yung sets niya yung hindi nag-work.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Pero hindi niya alam nag-experiment lang kasi yung buong team. Kasi as mentioned, wala silang practice before silang like get
Sinalang
together.
agad.
Oo, sinalang nila agad.
Mm-mm.
Separated na nga sila for like how many weeks.
Days.
Weeks.
And so, si Noya kasi, may scene kasi doon na he got in the way of the path of Asahi. Yung running
Okay.
path ni Asahi to Spike. Kasi 'di ba they have like the decoy strategy thing
Yes.
where everybody's like running to get
Yeah,
the
so
ball.
no one knows which one is gonna hit.
Mm-mm.
Parang ganun.
And Noya got in the way of the running path of Asahi. So
Mm.
Kageyama kind of like shouted a bit to
Mm-mm.
Noya and Noya got annoyed. It's like,
You're in the
what?
path. You're in the
Ah,
way.
And then it's
Mm-mm.
like, what did you say? Ganyan, ganyan. And then, nung in-explain ni Kageyama, Noya was like, oh yeah, sorry. Na-realize niya kaagad yon. And everybody was like, wow, he realized that very, ano. Tapos yun, everybody was like confused, like, why is Kageyama, like, being stressed out and stuff, and ganyan, ganyan, ganyan.
Yeah.
And then yun medyo na, siya, yung nag-shout siya,
Mm-mm.
Mm.
na taken aback siya. He remembered his, like, middle school days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And then Hinata was the one pulled him out of it. It's like,
I
because
really
it
love the
took
dynamic.
Tsukishima kind of commented like, "Oh, the king is back," ganyan ganyan.
Mm-mm.
And then Hinata was like, "Why are we? Parang, why is it a bad thing that he's a king?"
Mm.
And then Kagema's like, "Huh?" And then parang ano yun, I really love that scene. I really love the way that they animated the scene actually. Yung,
Yung towel.
oo, yung towel, ginawa niyang crown, and then he put it to, kay
On his head.
Kageyama. And then, parang nagpakita ng scene where he's like wearing the cape, the king cape,
Mm-mm.
and he's like surrounded by like garbage and shit as a crow. I just love the way that they always use that cape, because we've always been seeing that like throughout,
Yeah.
even like in season 1. And even if it's just like a simple thing like a towel crown, parang Kageyama was able to like get the king title, and like what do you call that, reclaim that
Mm-mm.
title for himself. Like it's not something insulting. It's like it's something that he's embracing. Now it is him, and he
Mm-mm.
knows what he wants. He knows what to do at court, and he will tell you what to do. But his team, they'll listen if they want. Parang ganon. And it kind of like reassured Kageyama so much. And I just love how Hinata, with his words, whenever he says something, it's just, he
It's lifting
unconsciously,
people up.
he unconsciously lifts people up without even realizing. Kaya nga unconscious. um,
Ano, when they got together before the practice match, I just wanna say, ang cute. Ang cute ng reunion ni Hinata and Kageyama. And they were racing towards the gym.
it's funny kasi very, parang reflex na nila na they have to fight about
Yeah.
something.
They just have to compete.
I
Yeah.
miss that because it's been so long.
Mga ilang episodes din yun eh, no?
Oo.
And like they didn't even speak to each other. They just looked at each other and they just
And
just
then
started
they just ran.
running.
Running.
And then their teammates were like, "Why are you exerting energy before practice?"
And it's so early as well.
Early in the morning. I
But
love.
I'm like, they should get used to it. That's been their thing since the first time they met.
Baka nanibago lang. Kahit tayo din na-miss natin eh.
Oh,
Yeah,
parang,
that's true.
oo nga pala, no? Ganto nga pala tong dalawang to.
Tagal natin silang di nakasama.
Tagal nating walang nakikipag-away dito sa...
Lila's pet peeves. Ambiverts are just introverts minus the misconceptions.
Since we've already tackled their training, okay na sila. Pag level up na. We didn't really see much of the success rates of the things that they want to do. Pero kasi parang alam ko kasi they didn't really specify exactly what they're trying to do individually. Kasi syempre kailangan may big reveal pag nasa
Yeah,
match na sila.
of
Oh
So,
yeah,
course.
naalala ko. You guys know I watch reactors, di ba?
yeah.
There's this coach. His YouTube channel is Elevate Yourself. I love his channel.
Mm,
He teaches volleyball.
mm,
You guys should check him out. Sinabi niya doon na practice matches are really good. And what Karasuno is doing na they're experimenting during practice matches, it's a good opportunity. It doesn't matter if they lose. Kasi
mm,
he does that with his own team that he coaches.
yeah.
Na if you guys want to do something new, just do it in practice matches. Kasi it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It's not
it's just
like a
practice.
competition.
Mm,
And it's honing your skills. That's what practice matches are for. So he's really like, pinantot niya na the realism in that is really good.
yeah. So let's go to nationals. In nationals, we actually meet Kanoka,
Mm.
Mhm.
and we finally get like the other team. Kasi 'di ba the boys team is Karasuno, so the other team is Niyama. And ang funny nung scene where Niyama is in the hotel And then Karasuno, they were
Isn't
like,
that in?
they were expecting the hotel. They were like, "Oh my god, this is big! Ganyan, ganyan. Wow, amazing!" And then they were like, "Here's our place," and it's like the small inn beside the hotel.
And
And
it's
then
very old as
yeah,
well.
and it's very and what's funny is like the three idiots were like, "Oh, we can do something like we let's do this and that." And yeah, they were very excited, and then they were running, and then Daichi, they
Stop.
meet Daichi sa gilid, and they stop, and they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna behave." I love the three idiots. And ayun na nga yung I pointed this out in our Clannad episode, the lucky perv moment of Noya. Eh,
Right.
and it's really funny as well kasi even though it didn't happen, he was still very very happy kasi he was caught by the by Kanako, right? He was touched by a girl. And he was like, "Thank you very much." And then he walks away.
Well, he did go to Karasuno because of the girl's uniform.
Yeah. So he's also a very simple person.
Yes.
You
Yes.
will see more simplicity of him in future arcs.
That's true.
Di ba ano sila? Apat sila, yung The Simpletons sa Karaso, no?
Yeah, with
Uh-huh.
Kageyama.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about like the three idiots and their shenanigans, it's just without Kageyama kasi he doesn't really join in with like the shenanigans. But if
Yeah.
it's like the simpletons, yeah, Kageyama's there.
Noya is the king of the idiots.
He's the leader. Pero we actually got a small arc of Kyoko in the
Mm-mm.
Nationals arc. I really love that because with Yachi we technically kind of have like a flat. Well, it's not really a flashback, but more
A
of like
background.
a background, yeah, of Yachi. But we don't really know much about Kyoko.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing her past parang before Karasuno and her being an athlete and then having to give that up and then joining another team parang just as a manager. And alam ko parang she mentioned that na, since she's just a manager, she's just doing what she has to do. Ganon.
Mm-mm.
But then she slowly becomes attached to them because she sees like their faces and their feelings whenever they lost.
Mm.
And she started parang also working very hard for the team. Just like
Yeah.
Takeda Sensei. I feel like the best thing with Karasuno is that they have like this very, very warm support system behind them.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that they wouldn't go anywhere without that support system.
Yeah.
They
And
wouldn't.
Karasuno has this energy of underdog.
Mm,
Yeah.
So, talagang you can't help but root for them.
yeah.
Even their opponents root for them.
Yeah.
Right?
Kasi
I distinctly remember Oikawa.
yeah, kasi the thing about Karasuno is that it's not just them being an underdog. Kasi there are a lot of underdogs out there na they
Mm-hmm.
don't really work hard. Parang they're just being an underdog. But with Karasuno kasi, you could really feel their motivation to
Yeah.
push. They're pushing themselves harder
Like
to
they know they're not the best, so they're gonna work hard to be the best.
exactly. And that's how like they try to grab their success. And oh my god, you know that sige mamaya na pala yan. Medyo nag-flash forward ako sa first match nila. um
Tayo.
pero I forgot about this. Pero do you guys remember the third years they were all together for the new year? The first shrine
Mm-mm.
visit of the new year. And Noya, Tanaka, and Hinata were together.
They were
They were
separated,
playing.
but then naghanap na ibang kalaro si Noya ng
Ay! Ano pala? Hinata was with Yamaguchi, I think.
Mhm.
Parang he invited Kageyama. And then Kageyama was like, no. And then Hinata was like angry. And then Noya was also playing something. And Tanaka was also ano. Pero they all like got together because they all went to the court.
Mm-mm.
And then they just started playing. Even Kageyama was there. And then Daichi had that dream, remember?
Yeah.
He had that dream where yung gym na taken over ng basketball team.
Oo, kasi
No,
wala nang volleyball team.
wala ng volleyball team. And it was like the Nationals nerves like
Yeah.
beforehand. And it's really, ang cute nun kasi the third years, like they're graduating and stuff, but they still, parang you could feel their closeness with each other. They've been together for 3 years. Like all four of them. They were together for 3 years. And you can see parang their nostalgia, their drive to win, and their sense of it's almost over. Ganon.
Mm.
You could feel it with them. I hate graduations. Pero yun na nga.
I
Tapos yung
mean, we
scene,
we we love it when it happens to us.
oh yeah, we do want to graduate.
Yeah,
Pero it's
exactly.
really sad to see it like in anime, especially in animes. For some reason, there's like this very melancholic feeling of
Because
graduation with
they make it
anime.
that way. They make it that
Yeah,
way.
and you seen where Kyoko was, she said something like very uplifting. Parang we don't need, like I think she said like we don't need gods, or like we don't really need to pray. Just do what you can to win. Ganyan
Mm.
ganyan. And then the three guys were just like
Ayun sila eh. Hindi lang nila pinapahalata, pero Kyoko simp din sila eh.
so like whenever Kyoko says something to uplift them, they were like, yes.
We're all Kyoko simps.
Yeah, that's true. It's the mole. I
Speaking
remember.
of Kyoko
Yeah.
and being a manager, I love her bond with Yachi. I think that's like the first time we really
Mm.
see them bonding.
Mm.
We love girls.
And
Ah,
uh,
girls.
I really love that kasi medyo dulo na to eh. Nanalo na sila nito eh. Pero ano, parang sinabi nilang dalawa. They were talking to each other, right? And then may scars kasi si
Mm-mm.
Kyoko. That's why she wears like the tights. And she Yachi was like it feels like a
Battle
battle
scar.
scar. Kyoko was like, "Oh yeah, that's right." And then I'm not gonna continue that. And then I
How many times have you accidentally spoiled something on this episode?
I don't know. And then kung nagtutuloy-tuloy kasi yung bunganga ko. Whenever it's Haikyu, nagtutuloy-tuloy talaga yung bunganga ko. I really love the part where they were like, let's do this again tomorrow. Parang
Mm,
they're insinuating that they will be staying kasi they're winning. Now they're
mm.
not going home yet. Parang ganon. And I really love that parang they have this trust with the guys na, yeah, they will win.
Best managers.
Oh, they
Yes.
are. Yeah, going back to Kyoko arc, I really love na parang yung symbolism, like even though she's just like running towards like diba she got the shoes kasi Hinata
Yeah.
lost his shoes and stuff. Like she was running towards the gymnasium, and then you see kind of like a flashback with her doing it during her track and field days. And parang ang ano lang, ang satisfying lang na parang she's closed that chapter of her life. Parang she's
Yes.
accepted it na. Na it's fine. I've enjoyed my days there, and now I'm enjoying my days here. But parang you can still feel that sense na, but it's gonna last very soon. Parang ganon. It's gonna end pala. It's gonna end very soon. Parang ganon.
Honestly, when I saw that specific scene, I just felt really warm all over. Because
Mm,
right from the beginning, Kyoko has always been this like untouchable character.
mm,
Not in a sense of like parang yung the volleyball guys, right? The untouchables. Not like that. As in untouchable as in
We can't
she
relate to her that
yeah,
much.
yeah. You can't really connect with her because she's very reserved, right?
Mm-mm.
She's a bit of a tune, dire?
Mm.
And so seeing this
not
kind
the
of
annoying one.
yeah, not the annoying one, but like she's just that like
She's not
cool
the type to
girl.
show emotions.
Yeah. She's like very stoic, very cool girl. Tapos parang the very first time we saw something from her was when she made that banner. I
Yeah.
remember that distinctly. And she was blushing, right? She was like,
Mm,
good luck guys, parang ganun, gumanon siya. Pero seeing that, yung backstory niya, how she feels about it, how she feels about the guys, her years as a manager, parang ganyan. It just Kyoko finally started feeling very human to me.
Mm.
Mm.
That's why, like, I don't think I can ever forget that. Like, if you just because I obviously I forgot her name. You were telling me the whole story of season 4 earlier before we started
Yeah.
recording, because I didn't remember her name. But when, like, if I think about Karaso no manager, that's like one of the first things that comes to mind now.
Mm.
Yung ano niya. Yeah, I love her.
We all love her.
Yes.
Landmarks. Woo! Hello again. I hope you're not tired of me yet, because here is another landmarks, and it's technically kind of related to Haikyu. So it's my Seiyu face. Woo! Okay, ayun lang naman. Sariling sound effects. So,
Congrats.
so yung save face ko, it didn't di siya nag-coincide with my anime phase. So I started watching a lot of anime before I even realized the voice actors are the same. I don't know what happened. I don't know how it clicked. Oh wait, you know what? I actually remember. Scratch that. I remember how it clicked. So basically, I was watching Attack on Titan and Kuroko no Basket, and
Mhm.
they both have Kamiya Hiroshi san. He is the voice of Levi in Attack on Titan, and he voices, I forgot his name, Akashi in
The
Kuroko no
red hair
Basket.
guy.
Yes. And basically, I kind of realized na parang na-recognize ko yung voice niya. Sabi ko, he sounds very familiar. So I searched it and I was like, oh my God, so it's him. Ganyan, ganyan. And then, doon na nag-spiral yung ano ko na parang, oh my God, he was here and he's here. And the next seiyu that happened to me was Kajiyuki. And you guys know Kajiyuki's everywhere. Like, he is literally
He's the MC of
everywhere.
every shonen anime.
Yeah, and if he's not an MC, he's like a character in the anime. Basta he's always in an anime.
Get
That's
that
why
bag.
there's this inside joke in the industry, like saying that he has clones and stuff. Like because he's in every anime, so it's like he's very busy. So when they're recording and stuff, they always say, "No, oh, is it really Kajiyuki? Is it another clone of his?" It's kind of like this. It's an inside joke. So Kajiyuki is everywhere. So I started like recognizing him too, and then nag-ano lang siya, basta parang nag-spiral na ako dun na whenever I watch a new anime, I check the Seiyu list. And with Haikyu, I remember this. It was actually the first time that I listened to Saito Soma. It's also my adventure with Saito Soma. So, basically, yung story ko naman with Saito Soma, there's this drama CD. Is it a drama CD? I think it's a drama CD of Haikyu where they were celebrating Christmas together and they were exchanging gifts and they were singing Jingle Bells. And
I love that.
I love that too. And I kept
Have I
watching it
seen that?
over. I think so.
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I kept watching it over and over again, and for some reason, because Yamaguchi is like one of my favorite Haikyuu characters, it's like a given. And whenever Yamaguchi's like singing, I was like, he has a good voice for some reason. He has a good voice. And then I tried searching. Parang someone in the comments said na, yeah, parang they also said na Yamaguchi's voice actor is really good, ganyan, ganyan. And they were like, oh, he's a singer. He also sings. He released music. And I was like, oh, really? So I searched him up. And then I recognized him. I was like, oh, I remember this guy. I searched him before when I was searching Haikyuu Seiyus, and he was the guy that I said na is pretty young, and he actually looks cute. And then na-stuck na sa akin si Soma forever.
Yeah, like it got so stuck with Brie that she also gate pushed Saito Sama to me, and so he's the very first Seiyu I ever recognized ever. And I'm not even into anime at that time.
Uh,
Like
so
you just know how obsessed Brie has become with Saito
I
Sama.
don't know what's with Soma as well. Like I don't know what's with him. I feel like he drugged me or something. I don't know. But I actually have a
Grabe
lot
naman yung
of
drug.
I have a lot of other favorite seiyus na it's a lot, so it's going to take so much time. So, pag
Oh
lumabas
yeah,
na lang,
it does take a lot of time.
yeah. Whenever there's a new anime na lang, there's a seiyu, I will talk about the seiyu in the discussion. So don't worry about that. You will know my favorite seiyus. Without realizing, you will know my favorite seiyus. And
Oh
that
my
was my seiyu
gosh.
phase, which by the way still hasn't died down until now.
Yeah,
And
guys, yeah, that's true.
I have pushed my Seiyu face to these two people. I know that. Ito yung recommendation na naalala ko. Pinush ko sila na ma-recognize yung Seiyus. And I'm actually proud because they both can. Kay recognizes better. Lila, though, oh my god. She's like recognizing na. I'm actually
Yeah,
happy.
and like considering my goldfish brain, and I'm like the most goldfish out of the three of us, and I am recognizing the voices sometimes, but I do. So be
If
proud
it
of me.
if it's Soma for Brie, it's Ayu for me.
Which is another Haikyu.
Ayumu?
Yeah.
Yes. Or
Hinata.
Uh,
Hinata.
So
honestly, I feel like I'm gonna recognize Ayu. That voice is just so distinct.
I feel like you will, but we haven't watched a lot of IU animes. That's
Mm-hmm.
why.
Oh, yeah,
Because the ones that we watched IU animes, we haven't recommended it in our cycles yet
yeah,
for some reason.
yeah.
So,
I just know he's venti in JP
Mm-hmm.
voice.
yes.
That's it.
And Hinata.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. That's a given. He's Haikyu.
Actually, Haikyu is a gold mine for Seiyus, to
Mm-hmm.
be honest.
Yeah,
Everybody's
that's true.
everybody. If it's a male Seiyu, you'd know
Yeah,
that they're
like
there.
guys, no joke. Every time I ask who Seiyu it is, Bree's gonna be like, he's this character from Haikyuu. I'm like, oh okay, cool. Every single time, I'm like, okay, I recognize that.
Haikyu's just a gold mine. So and speaking of Haikyuu, we will now be talking about Haikyuu.
There we go.
This as well. So landmarks. Woo! And then we finally got their first match against Subakihara. Which is, ito yung ayaw ko sa Haikyuu eh. Bakit mo ba pinapamahal sa akin yung mga teams? Like,
But don't tell me their story.
I
I don't
don't
need to
want.
know.
Yeah. Just let them lose. Like, ang sad, ang pinaka-sad pa nun, ito pa yun eh. Kasi parang, wala silang happy ending. Doon ako nasad. Kasi, ang pinaka-motivator nila is, they got into nationals the first time before. Second time na nila ngayon eh. And
Mm-hmm.
then that first time they lost their first match. So they had to go home. Like everybody was like cheering for them and stuff. They traveled all the way here to cheer for them. And then on the first day they have to go home. And for
Mm-hmm.
this one they were like, we will not do that again. We won't be coming home on the first day. Parang ganon. But they still did. And it hurts kasi parang you just want them to win so badly. Pero at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, it's Karasuno.
Karasuno eh.
Yeah. Walang tatalo sa Karasuno sa mga puso natin. So parang,
You
ang,
feel torn.
yeah, you feel torn. And you just can't help but cheer for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And wala, parang ang sad lang na yun yung backstory nila. Putang ina. And during that first match, they also, kasi Karasuno, it's their first match in nationals. It's a big thing. There's
And
cameras
then,
everywhere.
and diba, there's a lot of expectations for them because
Yeah,
they
kasi
haven't been in the nationals
they
for a long
lost, and
time.
they beat Shiratorizawa, which is like a
Yeah,
national
it's like
repeat.
it's like a whole bulk of history for
Mm-mm.
Karasuno, right? Because like they, di ba sabi, tama ba? They used to be like the number one out of all teams,
They
and
used
then
to
they
be like
fell off.
champion, and then they fell
Yeah,
off. So it's
and then
been
they disappeared for
years
years. Yeah, like
before.
they endured a lot of mockery, right? And then they
Mm-mm.
beat Shiratorizawa, and then they got to national. So it's like a whole boatload of history for them as well.
Mm.
Maraming mata sa kanila.
Oo. So like they're very nervous. They don't know parang they're and ang problem pa nito is Hinata wasn't able to practice beforehand.
Mm.
Hindi siya nakapag-cool off properly
Kasi wala siya
kasi wala
sapatos.
siyang sapatos. So,
Yeah.
hindi siya nakapag-warm up pala, cool off. Hindi siya nakapag-warm
Mm-mm.
up properly.
Yeah.
So, isa pa yun. Tapos, kinakabahan pa yung iba. Tapos,
Mm-mm.
ina-anxiety na si Asahi.
Siya
Tapos,
ba yung natatae? Oh, hindi, si Hina pa yung natatae, di ba?
hindi si Asahi yun, pati si Yachi ata.
Ah, pati ba siya?
Tapos, si Kageyama, he's not used to the space. Kasi very close nung mga
Yeah.
gymnasium lagi ng mga pinupuntahan nila. And now, this is an open court. Very high nung ceilings.
So, yung calculations
Tapos,
niya medyo off.
and ang problem is, Kageyama always needs precise calculations with the way
Mm.
he sets to the other team members. So, yung first set nila is medyo bumpy pa.
Yeah.
Pero, oh my God! Ito na. Yung scene where Kageyama was finally able to get used to the court.
Goosebumps.
Oh my God! Yung the way they animated that, I swear to God, like that scene alone would give my rating for the animation like a perfect score. But I didn't
Mhm.
give it a perfect score. Pero that scene alone, I feel like that's like 90% of my rating for the animation. It was really good the way. Oh my God, ang funny pa nito kasi Kaito, the voice actor for Kageyama, he actually mentioned like the backstory for that. Ano daw, he kept like saying it wrong. Sobrang hirap daw niya sabihin yung yung line na yun, yung I'm sorry, I'm sorry for being late,
Mm.
ganon. I'm sorry
Oh, I
for
remember that.
ganon. Yung
Yeah. Yeah.
after
Yeah.
ma-attack ni Hinata, like, I'm sorry for
Yeah.
being late. Yung scene daw, yung line daw na yun, hirap na hirap daw siya sabi. Yung line na yun.
Why
Sobrang
though?
intense, yung vowels and yung like syllables and stuff.
Okay, okay, okay.
And then Hinata's just in the side, like very happy with his scoring. And he doesn't even care na umokay na si Kagami. He just cares na he was able to score.
He 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 was able to touch the ball.
Yeah, kasi
That's like his main thing.
naaano na siya eh. Parang, hindi pa ba? Hindi ka pa ba? Hindi pa
Di ka
ba?
ba ready? Di ba ready?
Tara na, tara na!
Dali, dali, dali. I remember that. Yeah.
Ang cute eh, ano? Ang cute talaga nun. Oh, ito na yung gusto ko sabihin kanina. Like, it was very heartwarming. Kasi, di ba, we got that flashback with the Karaso na third years. Yung pinagdaanan nila throughout the
Mm-mm.
years na lagi silang talo and stuff. And then, yung ex-captain nila was like, if you see the opportunity, get it, grab it as much as you
Mm.
can. You
Ah.
will get that opportunity. You will get that chance. And then they did. And then that captain and like their two captains were there.
Oh yeah.
Yung captain nila
Mm.
nung first year sila, yung captain nila nung second year sila, they were there watching. And it feels so heartwarming na these two captains, they saw their growth of the third years. And to the
Oh.
extent, yung second captain, they also saw the second years. And they see the growth and they see how stronger they are now and how much they've changed.
Improve. Yeah.
They've
Mm.
improved from the time that they were captains. It was just very heartwarming. I feel like I was gonna cry during that part. Parang, oh, look at them. They're grown now. They're not the babies that you guys know. Aren't you proud? And they were proud. Ah! Okay. You guys need to talk. Kayo naman.
Mag, wala lang, ang cute lang kapag na-excite ka. Sige lang, kayo. Pag nanggigigil ka, nanahimik na lang kami.
Here's the thing for everybody's when it comes to Haikyu talaga, legit, nagtutuloy-tuloy lang talaga yung bunganga ko. That is also why na-spoil ko si Lila like multiple times while reading the
Yeah.
manga.
Yeah. Yeah, nagdire-diretso siya. I mean, I've forgotten most of it. I only remember like bits and pieces.
The thing is, kasi we were, as mentioned, 2020 kasi nag-end yung manga. So, during the time when we were having a review,
Yes.
for board exam. We were together back then.
Yeah.
And kasi weekends yung ano namin, weekends yung review namin. And
Yeah.
weekends din ang release ng Haikyu.
Yeah.
So,
So
lagi
as
akong,
as Brie reads the manga, she tells me what's happening.
yeah, I read it at home and then I go to the review center. I'm like, Lila! Oh my
Here's what
goodness!
happened.
And then tuloy-tuloy na ako parang, oh, ano siya, even before the sidetrack thing happened, I was already analyzing every single thing.
Yes.
I was
Alam mo
already
yung,
discussing it.
it's just funny how ito yung inaatupag natin during review. Tapos natutulog lang din tayo minsan during review. And then we
Yeah.
passed.
And the thing is, I was also working alongside
Yes.
our review. So I was really sleeping during review.
Yeah.
Kasi nagna-night shift ako minsan sa ano,
Uh-uh.
ano kami, shifting kami nun. So wala akong accurate na schedule. So
Mm-mm.
depende pa siya. So I was really sleepy. Don't do that, guys. If you're gonna do boards, I highly suggest not to work at the
Yeah.
same time. I passed, but
Yeah.
like
I mean, if you have the capability of not working muna while reviewing, yes, go for it.
and
Don't work.
I
will be
resigned.
if you will work, choose the morning shift, please.
Yeah.
Mm.
Don't
Have some
do
sleep.
yeah, don't do night shifts like me.
Yeah.
It was really hard. Pero yun na nga, even before that, I was already discussing Haikyu, so I have experience discussing Haikyu. Pero, oh, it was really funny that scenes where yung mga nakilala ni Kageyama sa All Japan Youth Training was there with them, di ba, in
Yeah.
the nationals. And then he was like slowly meeting them one by one. And then na-meet din siya ni Hinata as
Yeah.
well. It was
Natawa
really
talaga ako nun sa ano. Hindi mo siya na funny, pero hindi, ano, I remember very clearly yung first time na na-encounter ni Hinata si Hoshiyumi.
oh, ito po
Di ba
yung
yung
nag-eye
t-shirt?
contact.
Tapos
Oo,
di ba yung
tapos
t-shirt
nag-eye,
yun?
oo.
Oo.
Sabi nila, if I blink, I'll lose.
they,
You
they,
didn't even
they
know.
No,
really have the
nakipag-away
same
din siya kay
brain.
Hinata.
Oh. Parang, they didn't even speak. As in, they literally did not speak at all. They just looked at each other and they suddenly had an eye contact.
they just they just understand na in the volleyball scene, if there's another short guy, I have to fight them. That's just a common thing.
And it was really funny how Yamaguchi's like, do you know him? And Hinata's like, no. And Yamaguchi's like confused, like, what are you doing then?
Tapos
Honestly,
nakakatawa pa,
Hinata's always confusing Yamaguchi. Poor
That's
Yamaguchi.
true.
yung nakakatawa pa, after nila mag-part, Hoshiumi's like, I win, I'm taller.
No, 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 no. He wasn't. He didn't. Kasi he asked about the height, and Hinata's
Ah, yeah.
shorter, and he was like, ah, shit. And then he asked him his jumping height,
Mm.
and it was taller. And so I was like, I win. I jump higher, ganon. And then parang dun din naging ano ni Kageyama na you could jump way higher. Yun yung
Mm.
naging basis niya, si Hoshiyumi.
Mm.
Ang funny talaga ng mga rivalry nila.
Those are the moments you can tell na, oh, they're kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Like you would
normal kid
think
behavior.
they're all mature and like so good at their thing because they're experts at something.
Yeah.
And then you get
Yeah.
these moments where you're like, "Oh yeah, you're a child. That's right."
Very high school. So, that being said, is there anything else that we want to add?
I just wanna ano lang. It's not really that related. Pero Haikyu has always been interesting to me in a sense na it's like that peak of what the sports people
Mm,
do.
yep.
Kasi in high school, I'm not the sports people.
Yep.
I'm
We're
the
not the sports people.
tayo yung naiiwan sa classroom habang yung classmates natin ay nag ano, sport somewhere else. Pupunta ng
Yeah,
ibang,
tuwing
ano,
intrams, ang competition natin is spelling bee, Scrabble,
hindi lang yon. Hindi lang
chess.
yon. Hindi lang yon. Meron pa yung ano, yung interscholastic competitions. Like,
Ah,
the schools will fight each other and then the varsity team, they will leave. So, nangyayari,
mm.
parang kalahati ng klase nyo empty. Kasi nandun sila sa
Or
kaibang probinsya or something.
kapag wala tayong pasok, nire-require tayong manood.
Oo, yon. So parang it's just a glimpse of what the varsity team probably habang nasa classroom tayo nagmama.
Mm.
Pero it was still an interesting insight. Like Haikyu was an interesting insight to what the varsity team probably does on
And
their training.
Haikyu is very realistic as well. I
Yeah.
mean,
Mm.
may times syempre na parang over-dramatize yung
Yeah.
ano. Kasi
And like
it's still
it's
shonen.
a yeah. Like
Yeah.
I don't think our high school varsity team was that intense, to be
Uh,
honest. Most of them just played because they didn't want to go to class. Let's be real here. That's what they did. They're not that passionate with the sport. They just didn't want to go to class because
mm.
they're exempted. That's like the benefit of it.
Pero it's still very realistic in terms of like the volleyball itself. Like the
Yeah,
playing,
like
like
how
the
they do, how they
process. Yeah.
practice. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really nice. It's like one of the few big things that we have for Haikyuu. They don't have superpowers like Kuroko no Basket.
It's the most realistic sports anime.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Mm.
It's not realistic like realistic, but it's the most one out of
Yeah.
all
The most
sports
accurate one.
anime.
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Okay, so we will be doing our ratings, but since they're technically different seasons, we will be having different ratings for each. So we'll be having a rating for part 1 and a rating for part 2, and then we will be averaging our scores from those from part 1 and part 2 to have an overall rating of Haikyuu to the top. And then afterwards, we will be averaging all three of our overall ratings, if that makes sense, to have a sidetrack collective rating. So if that did not make sense to you, I'm sorry, but that's like the
Pasensya
most
na
that I
lang.
can explain.
Yes.
Let us do the math and just you guys just listen to the numbers.
Let us do the work. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
So rating.
Okay. So for plot, I give it 27 out of 30. I docked a point kasi
Is it because of the
the cringe. I cannot. The cringe. That's just it. Just the cringe. And then execution, I give it also 27 out of 30. I don't know why I didn't give it a perfect score. Maybe I was just finding something.
Mm,
Ewan ko, hindi ko siya mabigyan ng perfect score. But it is a 9 in raw scores. So, cinematography, also, just 1 point na difference. 18 out of 20. It's like really good animation. Like really good. I don't know why it's not a perfect score, but I cannot give it a perfect score. Parang
mm.
labag sa loob ko. Ganon. Bigyan siya ng perfect
Don't
score.
worry. Our objective rating is very subjective, so you're fine.
And then acting, I give it a perfect score. Of course, I love all of the seiyus and what they did with Haikyu. Very consistent sila throughout.
Mm.
And soundtrack, I give it a perfect score as well. I really love this season specifically.
I remember you were very, very like on repeat with
Yeah,
that
on
song.
repeat ang opening and ending ng Haikyu sa akin this season. Both parts. So, perfect score siya. My final score is 92.
For me, for the plot, I gave it a perfect score, 30 out of 30. Despite the cringe, I think Hinata needed it. I mean, again, he's understandably shameless, so it makes sense. I'm fine with it. I don't want to see it again, but I'm fine with it.
Mm.
For the execution, I gave it a 10, a raw score, so that's 30 out of 30. I mean, I can't really say much. the way they handled the arcs, the simultaneous events, the growth, the
Mm-hmm.
development, it was really satisfying. I do have certain favorite arcs personally, but you can, I don't know, like the way Haikyuu was created and the way the characters were developed, you can tell there's a lot of love in there.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm,
can just feel it. The characters and the events that happened is like really full of love.
mm,
Mm-hmm.
For the animation, I gave it an 18 out of 20. I think the animated, especially like when they're playing, the animated things very well. Their emotions, their struggles, the way they presented that visually is very, very nice. Um, I do have a personal benchmark when it comes to animation. That's why I docked a point. But it's still good in my book. In my personal, non-objective, quote-unquote objective opinion, it's a 10. Pero we're trying to be objectively subjective here. So it's an 18 out of 20. For the voice acting, it's a 13.5 out of 15. It's technically a 9 in raw score out of 10. I don't know. It's good. I like it. Certain voices are very distinct for me, especially with Hinata. Ayu is one of the first seiyus that I recognize because his voice is like really distinct. I don't know. I'm not that into seiyus to say much. So it's a 13.5 out of 15. For the soundtrack, it's perfect. I just like the song. I've always liked Haikyu songs right from the beginning. So
Mm-hmm.
overall, it's 96.5.
that was really high.
It is. It actually surprised me as well. I'm like, oh, well, like I wanted to dock some points, but like I couldn't justify it. So I'm like, so be it. It's gonna be high.
Okay, so for my plot, it's a 27 as well. My only reasoning for this is that the future arcs will be better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can't give it a 10 yet because I want to give a 10 to the future arcs.
Yeah.
Well, I have no reference point because I
Yeah.
know nothing.
So, and the execution, I give it a 27 because I feel like they removed a lot of things from the manga that I would have wanted to see. I can't
I have
really
no benchmark
think,
because I haven't read.
yeah, I can't really think of like a specific thing right now. Pero I remember thinking that way when I first watched the anime. I was like, oh, in the manga, I'm like
I
one
wish
of
they
those.
added this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm being the annoying manga reader, but like, can you blame me? It's like one of my. It's not one. It's my ultimate favorite manga of all time. So, um, can't really blame me for that. For the animation, I gave it an 18. It's a good animation. I really love, especially the Kageyama scene. Like that's gonna top everything. But it's not like the best. And it's not like there's nothing like unique or something about the animation as well. So I didn't give it a perfect score. For the acting, I gave it a perfect score, and I was actually waiting for someone to dock a point or to add a point or just to comment on the voice acting of Ukai.
Ah, oh my god. That has been in my mind, but I keep forgetting because we keep talking about different things. But yes, and I was also wondering if it was in season 4.
Yeah, it was season 4.
It
Season
was
3
season
was the
4.
last
And then it changed like on the very last episode, right? Is that right? Yeah. 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 Yeah.
so it's actually I remember when we were talking about Clanad and like the reboot thing and like how Lila was like at least make it the similar voice and stuff. Ukai was actually the first person that came to my mind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I was also thinking about Ukay that time. I can't believe I forgot it while we were talking about IQ, but I
their
remembered it
voices
during Clanad.
Yeah, their voices are very different from each other.
Yeah.
So it is very distinct. I don't really have complaints about it,
Yeah.
like the new Ukay
Yeah.
voice actor.
It's just that
It's just that masanay lang tayo.
hindi lang yun. Like if the voice changes, the vibe of the character will also change.
Mm.
That's why, like, I mean, it's not about Haikyuu, pero for a Honkai Star Rail, I don't know if any of our listeners play that game, but
Mm-hmm.
Blade, to be specific, the
Yeah.
character Blade, all throughout the language, EN, Japanese, Chinese, Korean, the voice is very similar.
Oh, really?
Yes, I watched his trailer 4 times, different languages again and
Mm.
again, of course.
The
But
dedication.
exactly. And yeah, the voice is like very similar. Like what you heard in Japanese, if you hear the Ian voice, you wouldn't think it changed. You wouldn't think it's a
Mm.
different person because it's like it's the same voice. Also, Ian Blade is Ian Lilly in Genshin Impact, which is very
Mm.
different. Anyway, but yes, so it really built Blade's character
Mm.
because the voice is consistent across languages. When it comes to like the other characters, like for example in Genshin Impact, for example, like Bennett's voice is different in Ian and JP.
Yeah.
And so the vibe of the character changes for me. And since I'm used to Ian Bennett, JP Bennett kind of sounded weird. So
Mm.
when I heard Ukai's voice change, I'm like, there's something wrong here. I don't like it. Like, again, there's nothing wrong inherently with the voice. It's voice acting, right? I mean,
Yeah.
voice acting, it's good. It's good art. The vibe of the character just changes a lot
Yeah.
if the voice is too different.
I'll be
So yeah,
honest, I actually didn't notice when I first watched Haikyu.
it was too apparent for me.
Mm.
It was too apparent. Anyway, that's it.
And for my soundtrack, it's a perfect score. I think, needless to say, they've already mentioned it. It's a really good soundtrack. And Haikyuu just gives us very good soundtrack. Although, I still, nothing beats season 3 for me. But I
Mm.
really love season 4 soundtrack as well. And overall, my score is 92%. I'm actually have the same score as in, like, from top to bottom, same score as Kay.
Holy shit.
when
And
when you were
na-justify mo yung scores ko.
when you were listing down your scores, I was like, oh, 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 oh.
Bingo!
Okay, so that was our part one, Haikyuu to the top. Why did I put part one first? That was Haikyuu to the top part one discussion. We will be doing part two for our last episode of this year. Woo!
Yay!
And we will be doing our collective ratings at the end of that episode. So stay
Yes.
tuned and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas! This has been Side.
Track.
Please don't trespass when you are not invited. Let us not get arrested. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye!